Hello. She's some lunch. I'm eating sandwiches, a leftover gyro, which is nice, and a bunch of Chex Mix. Oh, and water, because water goes with everything. I kind of know if I feel like doing much work today, but I took apart some 18650 battery packs, so I don't know. I could probably work it into my Sunday schedule to slightly clean up the workshop, though, because there's some just some junk that's kind of accumulated. Oh, looks like we're gonna get a big storm. I want to check the radar. That might actually help because it's a bit warm, so, and it's humid. Hello, Doutor JP from Brazil. Where are you guys from? Say in the comments. Oh, we got radar. That is a storm coming. I'm gonna have to shut the door. You know what? Spoiler about a future video. I bought some really nasty sealant stuff and I put it on 3 of the cracks, or the seams on the roof. So we can see if that works. Because it was just enough to test it out. It was ones that was giving me issues. And if that's sealed enough, when the storm passes over in about 20 minutes or 15 minutes, I can hear the thunder now, we'll be able to see if there's any dripping. John Loeb, photographist. That's a Jim 80 PLC. It's a programmable logic controller. It's not a K-Pro, but I have a K-Pro. Germany, Sweden, Poland, Sweden, Washington, D.C., Montana. Luxembourg, I don't know, England, Brazil. Finally, somebody asked me about ICC3 at 1800. So, I go through bouts of really no creativity, and if I try to get a username and I can't get it, I'm just like, well, what do I do now? So that's when I get things like you just find something and spell it backwards or whatever. But one thing that I did was I used to use hard drive serial numbers for, and like whatever number, like the longest one, for my passwords. And it made really nice, strong passwords. But then I started using for usernames if I couldn't think of anything. And I happened to have this fire extinguisher next to me in 2009 that had an ICC3A1800 valve on it. And when I was trying to figure out a username for my channel, I was just like, I'll just do that. ICC3A1800. So it was uninspired. Nairobi, Kenya. Norway. Actually, quite a few viewers from Norway. getting some rain. I can move the camera. I doubt you'll see anything though. I should do a video where I revive this old magnet. Well, I make a machine to reduce the charge. I should do that. Or induce the charge, not reduce. Finally get the sandwiches. Birdie too? Yeah, I think I might. It could be interesting, but I wouldn't want to look cringy. Can you guys hear the thunder? Shed's going to be, it's going to be storage, work, and play. The loft is going to be more of a media center for playing games and stuff like that. Down here will be for working, but then all the shelving in that section, because I made it high enough, that'll be for storage. I think we can all be in one place. Luke and Andre Miranda, what happened to the old acetone slime? First batch, I let it harden, and then the next one I caught on fire. Where's Schoonhofer? Am I going to get myself a Switch? Nintendo Switch? I might. Or I might get an HTC Vive. Because this would be a good spot for VR. I don't know. Mark Forrester asked about solar power. Yes, there'll be solar power. I'm rebooting Solar Sunday on my new channel, Renault's Big Projects, because I haven't really announced it to you guys that much, but when I uploaded this channel, Renault Super Genius, after a while, it almost feels like if it's a really good video, like a workshop video, it's almost too good for the channel, because the channel is, like, the style, it's just me recording things really quickly. And if I want to spend a lot of time making something, well, I kind of feel like I'm wasting my time, because like it's just going to be a channel, like it's just going to get lost in a mountain of really crappy spur of the moment videos. So any videos that I want to actually put effort into, like I got a standalone microphone, I'm going to actually record nice audio for once, and I'm going to reboot the Solar Sunday series on the Renault's Big Projects channel. That's also going to be whenever the rocket engine project goes from gaseous to liquid. I'm going to finish like this story arc on this channel of the gaseous rocket engine. But then whenever I move on to like, okay, now let's step up to liquid, like cryogenic fuels, then we'll move it to that, because then it'll be more of like moving away from experimentation and a mixture of engineering and experimentation. Luke Andre Miranda asks, what games am I into? Final Fantasy XIV for sure. Minecraft is fun, but only small amounts. Pretty much any Final Fantasy game. What I want to do with the HTC Vive is make a completely realistic version of the workshop, and I can have a virtual version of the workshop. So like, oh my god, I can touch the bench. It's like really there. That'd be funny because it'd be a total waste of time just to emulate what's already there. I can maybe break out the Hammond, yeah. We can maybe do that later. That sounds like fun. Yeah. Odd Brawl brought up that the Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming out, and I don't want to get hyped up, and I don't know if I want to buy another console, so if it becomes a PC, that'd be fun. But I'll see how it goes. Like, Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation 1 was fine. TS, do I like stealth games? I don't know, like, I like more diplomatic games. Where you get to, like, argue and never actually defeat anyone. Or, like, never actually, like, hurt anyone. Hey, Moo. What's wrong when you get here? Sorry, I'm still getting over being sick. It's been like, ugh. Oh, wait. Here's an idea. Does this mute me? Did that mute button work or not? Good. There we go. I'm getting so much junk up now. Can you guys hear the rain? It's getting up a little more. Jeremy Stallings. It was warm. It is kind of warm now. It's like 25°C in here. Okay. Like, weather changes pretty quickly, and after this it'll be pretty warm and sunny too. Nicholas asked if I'll be making a video about the Apple III monitor, and yes, I will. But I'm going to let that dry out a bit more, and I'll probably do that in the basement, because I want to make the basement of the house. Well, I want to like remove everything from the basement, and then just totally redo it. Fix the foundation of the house, seal up the concrete, seal up the ground, maybe pour new flooring, and that way to be a nice, dry area. Spike's glitter bomb. Your idea about the trike could work, but as you can see, I already have a Schwinn Town and Country. Rain's getting a bit out of hand. Didn't realize I left my drill outside overnight. Oh, this is like a cabling mess. I should get all my lights all set up, you know. Oh, and yeah, I'm sure the drill will be fine. Sorry, I'm working back to the comments. Thank you very much, John Fisher, for the $5. I will put that to good use. Oh, now more rain. It's turning up. Can you guys still hear me at all? Jeremy Stallings asked if I'm going to do a split air conditioner, or no? No. Casario Studios asked if I'm going to do a split air conditioner. I'm just going to do a window unit air conditioner. Thank you very much for the 2 quid green. Is that pounds? Yeah, euro. Okay. Thank you very much for the 2 pounds green silver. Sorry to hear you're sick, Emily L. Hope you get better soon, too. Alright, so that roofing seal I put on there did work fairly well, but there's one spot that's still leaking. I'll have to put more on that. It's where the sheets overlap. But then there's also one screw which is leaking on the plastic side, and I'm going to have to figure out what to do with that, because that's the new side. That shouldn't be leaking. Probably what happened is I just didn't tighten it down enough. Hey. And that's it. The storm's kind of over. That's Illinois weather for you. Nah, this is just a couple of drops. It's honestly, I could just let it go and it'll be fine. I'll just work on stopping the leaks later, but it's a small enough amount that it can evaporate, so that's fine. Beef sandwich and honey ham. Good choice. Not a low top. Sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't know how I feel about Black Forest ham. Black Forest ham is a bit nippy almost, and sometimes I kind of wonder if well, I don't like it because if it's a few weeks old, I can't quite tell if that's how it's supposed to taste or if it's gotten old. David asked how much water lake is coming through. Just a few drops, just to moisten the wood, which is good. Thought I heard something. It was outside. It wasn't inside. I'm glad when it's leaking outside, not when it's leaking inside. Luke Andre Miranda asked if I've ever been to the Philippines. No, I've only ever been to the U.S. and Switzerland. Oh, okay, I see. It'll be sunny in a little bit. Sun's already starting to come out again. I hear someone squeaking out there. Oh, it's my neighbor getting his car out. I guess his fan belt got wet. $10. Oh my god! Thank you very much Beth Ann. Here's a video that I have, I'm trying to finish. I've been restoring these old oilers. And I'm really not happy with the paint job, how it came out, but oh well. Seems eagle. This is one of those times where I feel like I should have just left it rusty. I don't know. This is how they should have looked, but this is a rusty version of this. I really love how this looks. But this one was pretty rusted up. It's a bit too sparkly for me. $20. Oh my God, Wes. Thank you very much. Oh, I didn't even receive that woodcrafter asked me about my next projects. Okay, so now that I have the back wall pretty much done, what I need to do is I need to fix the foundation. Not really the foundation, but I guess you could call it the skirting. The bricks that I put underneath the wall in order to keep bugs and stuff from coming in and air from exchanging underneath the wall. So I'm going to dig out underneath the wall and actually stack up some nice bricks there, and like if it's too low, I'll put dirt there and I'll make it nice and nicely packed. With those, I didn't even clean the mortar off the bricks. So these bricks right here are all really loosely packed together, and they go up and down and stuff. So I'm going to make them to where like they're nice and flat. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some more dirt and make this all level. And I'm going to have, well, I want to have these particular bricks as the flooring, because these 2-hole bricks are really, really nice and tough. But all the other ones that I have are kind of, they're like a chalky consistency, and they break apart if they hit each other when you throw them, and they're not that great. I've even had some of those ones crack if you jump on them wrong. But seeing as I don't have enough of the 2-hole ones, and I have a lot of the regular ones, I'm going to start a temporary brick floor, and that way I can move all this wood back there and this wood, because in 2 weeks, I'm getting a lathe from Magnavox Man. He's driving it like 400 miles from me, and that lathe is a cute little Seneca Falls lathe from 1911, and that will go in this area. And the lathe will be just big enough to fit underneath the loft, and then I'll have cabinets above and stuff like that for like tools and stuff. So that's pretty cool. But that's pretty much it for that. I think when I get that done, I might take a break on the workshop. Then again, though, it is be pretty warm, so it might be then a good idea, because like at that point I'll have the flooring mostly done and it'll be very opened up down here. I might take a break and actually do some projects, like I dug a TV out of a dumpster and have all these little things to deal with. But I might restore a couple things. I got another wheel mower. It's a keen cutter. So, but what I really need to do is I need to finally get the loft cleaned out and put up that factory window, because that window's like that big. I need to restore the window though. But then I'll have like a window I can open and have air circulating, because right now it's actually kind of sealed up. What are the projects? I just got another Mavica camera. It's a floppy disk camera. It records video on floppy disk, and so I'm actually filming a video going around recording on floppy disks, and I'll have like a whole stack of floppy disks that'll be for the video, and that'll be fun because like it records like what, 120 by 70 pixels or whatever. But that'll be for fun, just like see what if I had to film on floppies. I still have the scythe video to do. that scythe, but you can't see it, but whatever. There's so many videos I could do, it's kind of hard to tell. I am going to mute this and blow my nose, and then I'll be right back to read comments. And we're back. I'm going to read the comments starting from a couple minutes ago. Leo's Technic Canal asked if I still have the Sanyo Trinitron knockoff, and if yes, did I ever find a way to access the AV inputs? I have it. I haven't written down anything with it, but I just found another one in the trash. I'll just show you guys. This is right here. Oh no. Cape is all messed up. And now this one is like a tiny version of it. It's teeny tiny. That'd be a nice one for having on top of a desk or something like that for video games. So that'd be, it has also jittering issues and weird stuff, but whatever. You got less wet than the other one. Luke Andrea Miranda. Do I still have the flare guns? Let's see. I do have them. Underneath a bunch of chisels. Probably shouldn't have those being crunched by a bunch of tools. Oh yeah, that's the toolbox on the TV. That is a 1940, maybe 47, I don't know. I got it in California at Urban Ore, and it's a nice little toolbox. I like it. It doesn't have the key with it, but oh well. Crazy Life of TK, what do you think about making on the lathe? Parts for rocket engine. Steam engine parts. I want to build a coupler so I can put a big flywheel on an old 4-stroke engine. Because I want to make almost like a hit and miss engine. Using that big pulley that I got from the big flat belt wheel that was on like an old case tractor or whatever they got at the scrapyard. It'd be a wonderful flywheel. And I'm also going to be using the lathe to engineer my own inertia starter. You know, like the wind-up starter for a aircraft. You wind up the flywheel, and then you dump it in there into the engine, and it goes like that. And I'm going to make a mini version of that. So you have to crank up and spin up the flywheel, the mini one that's geared up a lot, and then you pull the lever, and it puts all the energy into like a little 2 horsepower Briggs and Stratton engine. Well, it's a Clinton engine, but it'd be kind of a cute little thing, and I can make all the gears and stuff on the lathe, I think. I'll probably find about, like, I'll probably just, like, make the teeth by hand, because I can do that with smaller things. It's a nice relaxing day. Can you guys still hear me? Is the stream still going good? That's cool. Last post. Any offense from electric vehicles? I want to upgrade my bicycle, and I want to add a sidecar to it, an electric sidecar. I want to electrify this 1970s Schwinn Town & Country. I have a small 24-inch bike that I want to electrify, and I want to make that into a nice little bike I can zip around town on. David, have you ever made a Stirling engine before? No, I have not, and I definitely plan to make a Stirling engine, because Stirling engines are very fun. There's some videos online of these Russian guys that made a really interesting one. Yeah, they made some pretty interesting ones. You should look it up. It doesn't produce much power, but whatever. Hey, Japan. Well, that's cool. Japan is a place I want to move to. Still gotta work on my Japanese, though. I have a good number of solar panels that I haven't really done anything with. I bought them for Solar Sunday, but then I just haven't really done anything with them. So I'm just going to continue from there. And the first Solar Sunday video on my new channel, I'll be mounting these two panels to the roof of the workshop. And we can see, like, how well we can control an air conditioning unit with them, because the way I see it, 2 100-watt panels would be enough to run on an air conditioning unit for like maybe half an hour, just the hot part of the day. That'd be really nice. And then I can always expand it and run it more. Mads, that's what's in the sandwich. Beef and honey ham. Anna Rude Roy asks, what's my favorite anime? I don't have a favorite anime. Although, if I had to pick, it would be Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, or Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. The Hayao Miyazaki film. Will Prince, how has the fungicide treatment worked on the wood, out on the wood? Well, getting some sun now. Look at that. So I stopped using the fungicide on the wood, and I started washing it, just with scrubbing it. And the wood that I used the fungicide on did not have any issues. The wood that I just scrubbed with water did have a few issues, where there was a few small specks that would show up. But I can just wash it again, and that will get rid of those. So I think it did actually do a good job of killing everything, but it wasn't so needed. Colton Nilam asked if I like Stephen King books, and I've never read him, but I I don't read Western fiction that much, to be honest. Like all the fiction that I consume comes out of Japan, so it's kind of funny. Risbo asked, oh wait, is that chemical elements? RISBO, like oxygen? Anyway, do I have an AC unit for the shed? My grandfather has a large AC unit for me that he doesn't want anymore. It's pretty much brand new. We gave it to him. He doesn't want it anymore, so we gave it back to us. But that might be 220 volt. I'm not sure. What I'm thinking, though, is at the very least, whenever AC units go on sale, I'll just get one from Walmart or something like that, or online. Leo's Technic Canal asked if I plan to add a lighting system. Well, I do technically have a lighting system. Like, I have those 3 lights up there and those ones that are on right now. But I think you mean a more organized one. So, the lighting system of the workshop is going to start with the ceiling fan. Because I salvaged that ceiling fan. And the ceiling fan has LED lights built in. So the ceiling fan is going to go up there, like in that area. And then I'm going to add like one, well, I might just do that for the first thing. Like I'll play around with running an air conditioner off those panels. But the first 200 watt panels will actually run the lighting system most likely. You know, have like a little lithium battery pack for it. But I'll add one line with a switch over there or something like that. And that'll power the ceiling fan. And then I could just scale up from there, adding more switches, more lines, whatever I want. Luke Andrea Miranda asked if I'm going to be doing any more metal detecting or bottle hunting videos. Well, I think I've set my sights on well exploration. Because what I'm going to do is I'm building a well pump. And I want to drain wells. My father has like 4 wells on his property that are like 100 and some plus years old. And there's going to be some good stuff underneath there. Right outside my workshop is a well. And I didn't even think about, like, below that concrete slab is like a 30-foot well. So I'm going to definitely open that up. First what I'll do is actually like drill a hole through the top of the concrete slab to send a little camera down there, because I have like one of those cameras on a stick type thing. Little snaking ones to put through sewer pipes. And then we can see what we're dealing with down there, because it might just be a lot of water. It might be filled up. I don't know. But I would love to open up that well and make actually a nice like wellhead, or like a thing out of like nice flat stones and stuff like that, so that I can actually have water. And like the idea would be to have a sink in here that I can wash parts on with, like, not drinkable water, but I don't know. Well, I would pump down if it is like a brick lined well, I'll pump it down, pressure wash it all, clean it all up, then I disinfect it or whatever, have it tested, and if it works out, then I can drink the well water, so that's good. Mads, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did it annoy me whenever a little chunk of foam broke off of the insulation? 0. I don't give a shit. Like, I can't be picky about the walls, especially not after the 3rd one. Dave David asked if I think dark energy exists. Well, I think that modern science is too full of itself and relies too much on bad theories. And I do not have the answers for the universe. But I do know that a lot of what we think is true is going to look very dumb in the future. And I just don't know how it's going to be. I wish I knew how. A lot of the stuff just seems off. It just seems wrong and dumb. And yeah, I don't think that dark energy in the scientific term exists. I also don't think that dark energy as like evil energy, like evil, dark, etheric energy exists. But I wish it did, because that could also mean that good etheric energy could exist. But I also kind of like the idea of like wielding dark energy. That'd be really cool. Leo's Technic Canal. This is a stupid question, but I'm very interested. What do you think about furries? Well, I suspect that you're a furry, if you're asking that question. So it's like, I am fine with it. I think that some of them, the costumes can be nice. They're great. I think that it's a community that has a lot of weird, bad people that ruin it. Because actually, if you look through the history of furries, it really didn't turn into a bunch of weirdos until in the early 1990s they got the gay community in, and they just turned into a big orgy. And it's like, I can kind of get with the idea of dressing up in like costumes as animals. It's kind of cool. I could do that, but as soon as they bring something weird to it, it's like, oh, you know what, you're all fucking losers. But I shouldn't be like that, because it's not like you're all fucking losers. It's like 85% of you are losers, but like that 15% is still good. I hope I didn't offend you. Roy has asked if I've ever done any backyard forging. You mean like casting? Or I've done all of that. Like I even have a video series about that. Oh man. Oh, I'm getting all kind of like stopped up. And we're back. Your cat Ted, or Muse Cat Ted, says hello and happy birthday. Well, tell your cat thank you. Bedins SG Ukraine said that he recently saw a YouTube video where a theoretical professor at a German university criticized the current state of physics. And yeah, the current state of physics is filled with like bullshit. But you want to know an area, a field that is really full of bullshit? Psychology. Man. Well, at least like it has the cancer is really getting into it, because that's where we get things of like scientific papers about like toxic masculinity is an enshrouding force of the patriarchy or whatever, and it's like, oh my god, what? Just burn it all, cut it off at the root, burn the entire thing down, because it's gonna spread. And that's all I have to say on that. By the way, if you guys follow like Aleister Crowley's stuff, he's a weird guy. I might actually read some of his stuff, like his experimentation with dark magic or whatever. I don't know. It's interesting. Like his Wikipedia article, it's kind of like, that's kind of interesting. But then again, I actually have like a collection of like really weird books. Like I had this book from the late 1950s that I guess it was like a school textbook or something. But it had things about like water dousing. Like at the time, I was like, how does that work? This is weird. So I kind of put it on its own category, and I just, looking back now, it's like, oh, that really is like really weird stuff. Because they also had like crystal magic and stuff like that. But they had like they're trying to be a very like scientific about it, and so I don't know. It's just very very weird. But all that odd stuff's always kind of intrigued me. It'd be fun to experiment with stuff like that. But most of it doesn't work, so that's a shame. It's a waste of time. Oh, Leos, if you're interested in furries, have you watched the Down the Rabbit Hole video of them? I believe that was... Either way, there was like this like 50 minute long. Just they went through the history of the furry community, like the start in the 70s and like the forking in the 90s and stuff like that. Forking. Bedin SG Ukraine asked if making your solar panels reasonable today or to buy cheap ones from China. Buy cheap ones from China. They last a long time and they seem to really have gotten it down pat. I think solar panels just... Plus, this year the price has really dropped a lot. There was a falling out in the market. And because like everyone was like, trying to hold the same artificial price. But then one competitor was like, well, we're making like 20% profit. I'm going to go down to like only making 5% profit and screw all these guys. And then everyone was like, what? The market's going down. We have to move down too. So everyone rushed down to what the market should have actually been for solar panels. And solar panels getting cheaper and cheaper, which is good. Have I been, David asked if I've been shaving my eyebrows. They go perfect with my glasses. I mean, whenever, like, sometimes I'll grab a razor and just go like that, just because, like, I have a couple hairs here that, like, they tickle whenever they touch the glasses. So I don't like that. And, I have a couple hairs here, like, so I kind of clean those up, but that's it. It's just, like, I hate whenever there's, like, a random hair. For the longest time, whenever I was a kid, I had this hair, like, right here. It's like, well, what are you doing? Why did you go here? Why not here or anywhere else? Like, why right here? It was just one little hair, a little bit darker than the other hairs, and it really annoyed me. And so I just, like, I would pluck it, and it disappeared later, so that's funny. But, probably not very relevant, but oh well. Will Prince, do you miss your job at Apple, and also what projects did you work on when you were there? Yeah, I actually kind of do miss the job at Apple. But I got like 4 job offers when I left, so, and they still stand, so I don't know. But honestly, I'm aiming for SpaceX. I'm gonna work at SpaceX. And what products did I work on? A lot of little things, helping out with little projects. But I did get to help out with testing and stuff of a lot of the devices that would come out. And that was fun because, well, the problem is they'd bring me into a room and have like, oh, there's a big iPad. I was like, oh, I guess maybe we sell that? I didn't realize they're like, oh, we don't sell that yet. That was like with iPad Pro or something like that. It was like a little bigger. And I'm just glad because like it was only later that I looked it up and I was like, oh, so that entire thing was secret. I didn't make that clear. Okay. Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. I do kind of like that. Sorry, I have a long backlog of comments. You guys are really commenting. I read every one. Almost every one. David, have you ever ingested magic mushrooms? Or would I? No, I have not. I do not consume drugs. I don't even like caffeine. But I'm not against them. I just... a lot of people ruin their lives with drugs early in their life. So I figure it's not the issue of drugs that are the issue. It's that they do it too soon. So when I get old, I'm going to party like it's the end of the fucking world. Because to me, it would be the end of the fucking world. Whenever I hit 50, and if I have like back pain or whatever, I might be open to smoking weed. It might help. When I hit 60 or 70 and like maybe things get really, really hard and I'm like, you know what? I want a really, really crazy time. I might start like doing LSD and whatever else. And then when I'm 90 or 100 or whatever, I'll do like the really hard stuff. But then if I live to like 110, I'll be like, oh shit, I'm actually living a long time, and I'll stop. And then I'll get very cautious, like, oh wow, I shouldn't have done that in my younger days when I was 80 or whatever. I doubt I'll live past 70 though. My gut feeling though is that I'll die around 40 something. So I don't know, some experiment. Hickbound Genius. Are you planning on doing a 4th year transition update? There isn't much of an update, but I'll do a video on my second channel kind of saying there isn't much of an update because people will still click because it has it in the title. But in SG Ukraine asked, Renault, are you afraid of AI? What I hear and see and feel makes me unsure about the future. I mean, can you imagine a computer deciding what you should do as a job? Man, it's nuts. I think that I am more afraid of the human mismanagement and disrespect for AI than I actually am afraid of AI itself. Like, for instance, you could argue that you're afraid of biological creatures because they could technically be designed to be weapons. Like, you could technically design, like engineer a creature based on DNA and organs and all that kind of stuff that would be like a bomb. Like an actual creature that would explode. Or, something that goes venom or something like that. You can actually make that like really horrible. Or, you could argue that organic creatures are pretty horrible. Like humans are pretty authoritarian, very group thinking, and if you don't conform, you get mowed over. But I think AI has a lot of potential, and if we did manage it well, it'll definitely be good. Problem is, people will not manage it well. It is unstoppable because people will not manage it well, and we are going to find ourselves in a very odd state in the future. I think that autonomous vehicles are going to be a real breaking point in about 10 years. We're going to see large amounts of people losing their jobs because we'll have the people not driving anymore. We'll have less gas station workers because, like if you don't have drivers, then you don't need as many gas stations to give out to sell snacks and drinks to truck drivers. Need less restaurants, all that kind of stuff. And so we're gonna see a lot of people losing their jobs, and they're gonna be totally unemployable. And all of these people are like, they should just get programming lessons and they can program. It's like, well, first of all, programming is being automated. Second of all, do you seriously think that you can take someone who has been driving a fucking truck for like 35 years and they don't have any hope for retirement or whatever, and you seriously want them to start considering and learning all the complicated aspects of like computer code engineering? And if you do that, you seriously think that they're going to produce stable code that won't be hackable? I mean, like, seriously. If you want good coders, you have to raise them to be coders. That's why, like, before the 1990s or whatever, most of the amazing coders were these people that were like, they would have been amazing math geniuses or whatever. Like, Ed Catmull or whatever. And they were very few and far between. But now, we actually have the facilities to raise people to be coders. And they can think in that way. They can spend years growing up thinking about that. They can experiment. And they can be like the equivalent of what would only be randomly made previously. And yeah, I think people really, really underestimate the issue of displacing a bunch of workers and just like expecting them to adopt a brand new way of life. Because you know what's going to happen. We're going to have a bunch of people that can't be employed. They're just going to be the mindless masses. They're going to be mooching off of their sisters, their mothers, their grandparents. If their grandparents are even still alive, or they'll be homeless, which we also... The mental asylums in the United States are the streets. So if you have like some really weird issues, and like you think that, I don't know, some weird stuff, there's no place to keep you safe. You're just going to be out on the street to, like, I don't know, eat your neighbor's dog or something. Because people are weird when they have... Because a lot of the people, especially in California and Seattle, they have some really weird issues. Really, like, they are fucking sick. They need help. They need medical help. But there are no, like, mental asylums to help them. Because they were all shut down because it's not politically correct to have them or whatever. Where was I going? Right. So we're going to have, I believe, in the next 10 or 20 years, a large amount of people that... Well, they just spend their lives online because they don't have a job. And they just spend their lives going through the Twitter scroll or the Facebook scroll or whatever, getting angrier and angrier, and like taking whatever side they take. And so we're going to have these incredibly angry, incredibly motivated, jobless people. Most likely homeless too, because like even a homeless person has a phone. And I do worry that we're going to have some really nasty riots because, like, for the long run, like the Earth's population is going to lower, whether that's by them just like unemployable people just withering and dying, or by them stirring up trouble and like fighting people in the streets and like causing mayhem. Because whenever you have a bunch of people that, like when you have millions of people that don't have jobs, I don't see any real good option if they aren't given a life. You know what I mean? And, but I do think that overall, in about maybe 200 years, once all that problem is an issue, because, you know, like, the beginning of the 1900s, we had all these, like, people were cranking out their kids, getting more and more people, because factories needed people, mines needed people, militaries needed people, they needed people. And, like, every 1,000 feet, or every 100 feet of skyscraper, they would account for, like, one death, and now they can't have any deaths. And so people, the Earth, our society was churning out a bunch of people. They're really gearing up for a society that would really go through a lot of people. And then they stopped going through the people, but like, we kind of figured that out. We got a little crowded, because then we realized, like, hey, wait a minute, we don't actually need that many people, but that's fine. But then what happens when you reduce the demand and have too many people? You know, then you have to somehow wind that down to having less people, and it's going to not be nice. It's not going to be nice, and I worry that governments might not survive from that. Like, even if they're good governments, they might get worse just from the tumultuous time. Yeah, I'm not sure, but in 150 years, 200 years, our technology that we're developing today, if we all survive through this coming issue that we might have, the like kind of rough period of downsizing the population, then I think that we'll actually have a lot more capability per person. Because then in the future we can have like a town that could be almost like self-sufficient with a lot of technology and only a few people. And so we can actually have more room in the country, like more people, or less people doing more things. And so I think it's going to be a very difficult time kind of like scaling back the Industrial Revolution, like the human population side of it. But it's going to be better in the end. Because, sorry, it's going to be better in the end because we don't need this many people. It's nice to have people. Oh, no. It's nice to have each individual person, but when they get together, they're not that nice. Never mind. I don't know. That's my opinion of AI. I'll have to go continue reading comments because there's so many comments. Oh my god. Leo Senec can now ask if I like Back to the Future. Yes, I like Back to the Future. I hate how the chat is like you can't scroll through it easily. Luke Andre Miranda. Well, I really like who's my favorite Star Wars character. I really like Han Solo, but I also like Rey. In the first new trilogy film, the second episode 7 or whatever, or it was episode 8, was horrible. I hated it. It's boring. Leo's Tender Canal said that his favorite phone is iPhone SE. I agree. I like the iPhone SE too. I helped with the testing of that, I think. I can't remember. Emily L. asked, how do I survive without coffee? Well, coffee is... first off, coffee is nasty shit. I'd rather drink tea. But most of all, coffee, it is a problem invented by the corporations that sell you coffee. They get you addicted thinking that you need it. And you don't really need it. Because if you stop drinking coffee, you wouldn't need coffee. So it's kind of funny how that works. Sorry, I'm still kind of far behind with the comments. Mew asked if I said, they say the first person to reach 150 has already been born. Do you see the medical science starting to reverse halt aging to a ridiculous degree within our lifetime? Actually, I see that the opioid epidemic is really killing off a lot of people. And I do believe that I'm actually kind of pessimistic about the future in that regard. I believe that there will be a few people that live a very, very long time. But we're also going to see like mass die-offs of the baby boomers before they would like to be mass died off. Because I do think that there's probably a lot of chemicals and stuff that we've been consuming and the rapid increase in pollution in our air that's slowly killing us. And I do think, I do think it's going to be not so much of a ramp like people have been seeing for like life expectancy. Oh, by the way, thank you very much, Franz Oshberg, for the 1 Swiss franc. I'm now to the part in the comments like when I started going on my rant about AI and stuff, so I'm getting through it, sorry. Blue Live 23 said, from Europe, San Francisco shocked me. What a shithole. Yeah. Yeah. San Francisco, like, oh my god. But just watch the Dirty Harry movies just to see, like, it was always kind of like that. It was always a shithole. David. Remember the old Russian saying, they pretend to pay us, we pretend to work. Huh. It's realistic. Oh, speaking of this, speaking of like the decline of civilizations and like kind of like Russia, because Russia has like a real bad alcohol problem, and we have been seeing in our dying town that anytime a store closes, an alcohol store takes its place, and things just keep getting worse. And it's like I can't help but see a correlation there. Because, like, do we really need this many places to buy alcohol in this town? I don't think so. Bedin SG Ukraine says, I believe in Jeff Bezos' future like space explorations. When Jeff Bezos actually gets to space, like, not just like having his rocket barely cap space, but like actually go into orbit. You know what I mean? Oh, and yes, I'm using like the top of the screen is like space. Because right now his rockets have only like just barely gotten into space. That's not space. That's well, that is space. That's space, just like we're in space. But like when we talk about space, we're talking about orbit, where you stay up there, like SpaceX is doing. And I'm not interested in Bezos's backyard projects until he actually does something. Leo's Tenant Canal said I have to go in 10 minutes, probably more than 10 minutes ago. And when you read this, I will probably be gone, but have a nice birthday, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much. Sorry I'm so delayed with all the comments. There's a lot of comments. Bet in SD Ukraine. I still think that Jeff Bezos is kind of more talk than actually like experimentation. Like at this point, it seems like SpaceX is pulling ahead, or actually has always been ahead. He really needs to step up. If Jeff Bezos is fucking serious about getting to space, then he needs to dump a lot more money into outer space. And he needs to really step up his efforts, I think. Panzerfahrer Tom asked, what do I think about Trump's job strategy? I don't know what that is. Sorry. Better than SG Ukraine. I say Elon Musk in 20 years probably migrate to Mars. Why not? Why not? He has money. I think in 20 years, Elon Musk will be president of Mars. Oh, another super chat. Oh my god. Better than SG Ukraine. India and China probably next superpower, but I don't believe in depopulation. Train. I believe in technology. Well, it's not that you have to believe or not believe in depopulation. The population is declining. That's already a fact. Hey, Pegtooth arrived. Thank you very much for the $5, Colin, for the money for screws. On the last page is comments. Oh my god. Oh, so on your side are the comments on right here? That's odd. Which way do you want? This side or the other side? One Dito 2001 asked, "What are my thoughts on supercapacitors?" Well, they're terrible batteries, but they're really good capacitors. This installation's holding up fine. Big juice. When Dieter 2001 asked, "How will Tesla use supercapacitors? They are terrible batteries. They won't use them as batteries." Duh. David said, "I appear to have better internet connection." Yes, I actually got complete cable. It goes a long way, and I got my mom and her husband to get off the internet. Better than SG Ukraine. Yes, the lithium battery in the Tesla used to be 18650s, but now I believe it's like 2170s. But probably what they use supercapacitors for is just making a hybrid battery pack for storing power for acceleration, just to preserve the battery pack. But the supercapacitor, the Maxwell supercaps, won't actually be used to store the power long term. Andrew Roberts, Tesla has already made the Tesla Roadster, but they're making the Roadster 2.0, I believe. The shed's going to have its own battery and solar power. The goal for the workshop is to export power. So I'm going to actually feed power into the house from a cable I'll run to offset all the power in the house. Bedin, SG Ukraine. Renault, did you ever hear about Stanmeyer H2O technology, or better, about Mike Strichke hydrogen-powered house in New Jersey? Well, you can't just get power from hydrogen unless you have a bunch of hydrogen, and hydrogen is hard to get. So, and there's no energy to be had from water. Pigtooth. Well, it's already been 90 degrees already, so I'm going to have a ceiling fan and a big window and an air conditioner. Hopefully. Andrew Roberts. Isn't hydrogen highly reactive? Yeah, but we don't have hydrogen. You have to use some way to extract hydrogen from something that already exists in order to use hydrogen. Trying to run a generator off of water, like a chemical generator, is like trying to run a fireplace off of ash. Because that's literally what it is. Water is the ashes of a hydrogen flame. 5 what? Blue Kangaroo KW asked if it's live. I'd say it's live. J-Max said, lowering the pH, increasing the temperature makes splitting water more efficient. More efficient, yes. But you can never have more energy coming out of it, as far as I know. Hey, Leo's Technic Canal. Sorry I was so delayed I couldn't get your, I couldn't read your comment while you're there. Emily L. said, sorry, I'm burping a lot. Asked, do you have any plans to travel the world and meet your fans? It would be so awesome to meet you. No. Because I'd be a big disappointment if people actually met me. And, I don't know. Like, if you see me, say hi. But I don't see myself going on my way to meet people. Oh my god, Dan Lab, you're right, this is a mukbang. But I'm not like eating a bunch of food. Bedineshti Ukraine said, Renault, well, Mike Strisky has created an iOS solution where during summer you produce so much electric power that you can run conventional generator type system and produce hydrogen and store it. Now that is a good idea. I've been working on something like that. Storing hydrogen is a good idea for long-term storage for solar power. I'll definitely agree with that. Eight-bit rabbit tech. Haha, it's also my birthday today, 34. Happy birthday. Alles gut zum Geburtstag. I think that's how you say that. Geburtstag. You gotta do that R. Gamer Dude 0. Happy birthday, Renault. We'll be building a staircase for your shop. Actually, like, right here will be like a cabinet. About that wide. The steps will be designed to be kind of big, but big enough for my cat to lay down on. So if my cat wants to be on any one of the steps, she can lay down and slumber. But the steps will just be like, it'll just be a cabinet with step tops, and that'd be pretty good. I think I can probably build it to the wall. I don't know. Steve64464. No, your chat is not working. Goodbye, Leo's Technic Canal. Pigtooth. I do not think that GMOs should really concern you any more than regular food does, because GMO is no different than just organic chemistry. So it's just a matter of if certain foods are healthy for you at all. And I think what you should be concerned with is people assuming that, oh, because this species is safe, and because we make this, and it came from this, then it must be safe also. I definitely agree with that. But GMOs are perfectly safe if we evaluate each new one as a new species. Mads, what do you think of the current state of chemistry? Well, I am really far behind on chemistry. Most of my chemistry understanding is from like the 50s and 60s. Aside from a few things about battery technology, and I'm not quite sure. Do you have any opinion, Mads? Sorry, my kind of hard to talk. I might end the live stream pretty soon because I feel like taking a nap. Even though we're being sick. It's funny how we can have radiation mutated foods, and people don't get upset about that. But we can have genetically modified, and people think it's bad. But like, you do realize that a lot of what we eat today was actually designed in gamma gardens. So what you do is you would have this huge circular garden. At the center, you would have like a really radioactive source, like cobalt-60 or something. And you put plants around it. And the plants closer to the radioactive source, like it was a really, really strong radioactive source, would get their DNA mutated, and closer to the radiation source, more mutations, further away, less mutations. And most of the plants would die, but some of them would change color. That's how we can have like strawberries that are white. And people don't complain about that. They don't complain about bananas being like, I think they were radiation mutated. People, they see it black and white, but they don't realize just how gray and constantly changing plants are. Herzlichen Glückwunsch zum Geburtstag. Let me say that again. Sorry. Jan Betta said, hey Renault, happy birthday. Here's an even more difficult way to say it in German. Herzlichen Glückwunsch zum Geburtstag. I don't know. I guess that worked. Yeah, that's the problem. That's why I don't drink alcohol, because then I'll speak German and Japanese. And you do not want me speaking German or Japanese, because I make a huge fool of myself. It's fine around like my old German coworkers, because they were from like Munich and stuff like that. But it's best if that side of me doesn't come out. And some words, I still have like a Swiss accent. It all depends on when I heard the word first. Like, some of the words that I heard, like from Switzerland or whatever, those come out sounding Swiss. Other ones sound however I first heard them. Be right back, and I'll blow my nose. I think I'm on the last stages of being sick. But this weather isn't helping. Dustin Tashaver said, hello, Renault. I just want to say hi. Could you say my name on your live stream? Thanks. As always, I love the videos. Just FYI, maybe I've just been doing YouTube too long, but I kind of don't give a shit about likes or dislikes. I kind of do, but not really. Like, yeah. I care more about, like, the grass growing outside of my workshop. Like, you know, that patch I've been kind of walking around a lot. It's like, no grass growing there. I want the grass to come back so it's not all mud when it rains. That's more important to me. Oh, barrel boats. Barrel boats. Thank you very much for reminding me. I'm just Richie. So, we need to move past barrel boats for the time being. To finally get a taste of fun. They sell like inflatable rafts online, like $30. They can hold like 400 pounds. So I'm going to get one of those rafts and build something to sit inside of it. So it actually have a floor. And you'll sit on the floor of the thing. And then everything else can be mounted onto that. This box that I picked up will be a battery box for one of them. And what I think I'll do is you'll have a wooden like insert that'll sit inside of the inflated raft. And your weight on that insert, well, it'll help distribute the weight across the floor of the raft, so hopefully making it last longer. But also your weight in that will make it a nice mounting place. So then that wood floor that you're sitting on can also be like have off the back side of it. Like imagine it's a chair. Imagine this is a boat. You'd have the motor back here mounted onto the part which is mounted onto what you're sitting on. So that should be pretty, I think, be a good way to mount to really crappy inflatable boats. That's my opinion. And what I want to do is I want to build 2 of them, and me and my dad are going to race them around in the creeks. Probably start like in Greenville, and then just ride the boats up as far as we can, miles and miles, and stop, and then we'll go back down. Emily L., you're from Sweden. I didn't know that. What? That's cool. Fibrodad, UK fibromyalgia. Myalgia. Rockets? Yes, I plan to be continuing rockets, but I'm just going to take my time and collecting parts. Oh, I'm just Richie. Yeah, I plan to just like use those little 12-volt motors that I got, and they work great. And using some of these, I could honestly, I don't even need to fill this entire battery pack. Oh my God! What if we had one battery box on one boat, and the other boat had an extension cord to it? I mean, it's an idea. It's an idea. Or have like an extension cord to where like, oh, I wasted too much power. Let's sift a bit off of my dad's battery. I don't know. Gans Oshberg. Happy birthday, Austia Schweitz. Sorry, Schweitz. Oh, Fibrodad UK fibromyalgia. You need to build a CNC with that computer. The Gym 80 PLC, sorry, pointing wherever it's at. That is going to be for a metal 3D printer using a MIG welder. You on Caldwell? Do you ever see yourself heading back to back to work in the valley? Yes. Or if I made it in Cape Canaveral or Boca Chica, Texas, I could go there too. Anywhere SpaceX is, I would love to be. See ya, about in SG Ukraine. Phantom 309, do you watch Twitch? Not really. I've watched one or two things on Twitch, but not really. I really should clean up. Yeah, I should clean up. Harry 2K, do you like Game of Thrones? Never watched it. Not really my thing. Like, if I want to have, like, Western fantasy, I'll just watch Lord of the Rings. That's enough to sate my needs. Pigtooth, have you ever watched the British comedy series Red Dwarf? Yeah, I have. I think I watched the first season and kind of trailed off. I really love Robert Llewellyn in it. He's good as Crichton, I believe. Might be wrong. I was going to set my camera down there to clean up this side of the workbench. And I was like, well, then I can clean that part and set the camera over there. Well, then it's like, well, then I could set the camera over there and clean that part. And it's like, maybe I should work all the way back and start all the way back. I don't know. Oh, my God. Or there. The last post. What time is it? It is 14:18. 2:18, sorry. Get some of the water out of here because it got rained on. Yeah. I really hate it how sometimes the boards get a bit of fungus on the very ends of them. It's just annoying. That might just be dirt. Never mind. Might be mud. That's not so bad. Mogul ZMO asks, do I know the percentage of people watching your videos from the region of the outside of the U.S.? I'll look it up. I might have to walk closer to the house just to get the Wi-Fi connection because I'm going to use a cable on this. Audience. So, United States, 40%, United Kingdom, 8.5%, Canada, 4.7%, Germany, 3.6%, Australia, 2.9%, Iraq, 2.6%, Netherlands, 2.1%, India, 1.7%, France, 1.6%, Turkey, 1.6%, Indonesia, 1.5%, Sweden, 1.4%, Japan, 1.3%, Brazil, 1.2%, Italy, 1.2%, Spain, 0.9%, Poland, 0.8%, Russia, 0.7%, Philippines, 0.7%, Denmark, 0.7%, New Zealand, 0.7%, Norway, 0.7%, Finland, 0.7%. And it kind of goes, trails off from there. Finland, Mexico, Belgium, Romania, South Africa. Now we're down to 0.5%. Malaysia, Argentina, Hungary, Ireland, 0.4%. South Korea, Czechia, Egypt, Thailand, Austria at 0.3%. Greece, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Switzerland, Schweiz, Portugal, now Taiwan at 0.2%, Ukraine, Vietnam, Serbia, Lebanon, Chile, Israel, Jordan, Croatia, and other is 9.3%. Hope that answers your question. Oh, you guys have been busy commenting. Oh dear. Blockchain. Hi, please suggest me a good controller for my 250 watt permanent mounted DC electric bicycle motor. I recently bought 24 volts, 250 watts off Amazon. But as soon as I connect the battery, the wires are heating. I'm really frustrated. Honestly, I would recommend returning that because that sounds bad. Oh, there was mortar on this. I was like, this is weird fungus. It's like rocks. It is rocks. You know what I should do? Finally put up more nails. If only I had a bunch of nails. That'll work. Mads. What music do I like other than game music, if at all? It's a good question. The Who, the HU, they're a Mongolian folk rock band from Mongolia. Look them up. V space HU. They make really interesting music. Joker 68. Do you have a 9-to-5 job? No, I do not, but I do have a job that probably takes more time out of my life, which is YouTube. Because if I'm not actually doing work, I have to edit and rearrange stuff, or it just weighs on my mind. There we go. Something I can hang up. And that. I guess I can hang up. I have my laptop sitting on a jacket. I think it's going to overheat it. Got this jacket when I was 12. It's held up quite a bit. I ripped it on the back of an old Baldwin organ on the back of our the back deck of our house. It used to be like my workshop back at our old house, and I had a bunch of organs back there. Tom Guest asked, is it true that you can take a lead-acid battery and rejuvenate with Epsom salt and distilled water? No, but you can get a little bit of maintenance, and you can stretch a bit more life out of it. The instrument inventor. I have had many days or many times where I put something where I won't forget it, and I put it somewhere where, like, if I put it anywhere else, I would have remembered where it was. I'm going to take a little break and run inside and use the restroom, get a drink, see if there's anything going on, see if my mom and Josh want to get back on the internet or something like that, and I'll be right back out, but I'll be on my phone in the chat. So, there we go. I'm back. Sorry. It's kind of funny. Not meaning to be gross, but like, I feel like I'm getting over being sick, okay? But then I go and use the restroom, and my body's like, "Oh, you think you're not sick anymore? Isn't that just special? Oh my god!" And it's like, oh, you don't have to remind me. I don't want to be sick anymore. What was I doing? Right. Simon MKD. Renault, are you planning to paint the walls? No. That's fucking stupid. Although, I will say, in the future, a bit of linseed oil might be good on the walls. Just something to kind of bring it out, but I don't know. I should put something here, like in this area. Definitely have this one to use it to get out. Oh my fucking God. Nah. This will be hung up. This will be on the chemical drawer. Perfect. Much better. Move. Oh, nail. I'm going to catch up on the chat. Stokeburner asked, what is that toolbox on top of the monitor? It's a toolbox. What's in the toolbox, if anything? A lot of various things. That was my toolbox from California. A lot of like hammers and pliers and solder and stuff like that. Little big small. Little big small. Are you planning to do a video on making your workshop solar? Yeah, that'll be its own Solar Sunday Reboot series on my new channel, Renoa's Big Projects. Radio Shack radio and a Panasonic radio. Mr. Eric Deeds asked that. I am updated on comments. I'm starting to feel a bit sick, so... Well, I'm feeling like I'm just talking too much, you know. Try doing more work then, anyway. This one that should go up. Ow, fuck. That hurt. Okay, that would hold on a nail. Oh, Sime MKD. The name of the new channel is Renoa's Big Projects. Oh, someone already said that. Oh, Mogul Zemo, or Mogul Zemo. You're talking about my Tinkerer's Guide to the 18650, which that can be found. I have a video about it. Joe Dines says, "Happy birthday! Wow, what a year! You've made so many achievements that you should be proud of." Well, thank you. I am actually pretty happy with this past year. My channel has really grown quite a bit. My projects have grown quite a bit. I've done better things. Little Big Small, won't you be destroying the TV? No, it's a good TV. Bart Cornelison asked if I'm running a cable for my shop. Yeah, I bought a 100-foot outdoor Ethernet cable. See, there's a better place to put you guys. Risky, but we'll see. That works. Yeah. I'm gonna go take out the trash real quick. There's a lot of sawdust here. A lot of dust on this computer now. Oh well. Craig asked, are you going to be doing any more videos on Red Rooster? Oh, probably. Oh. Slavomir Vanek asked, are you working somewhere to make money? And it's like, well, my YouTube channel is where I make my living, actually. Are you guys pretty much happy with the live stream there? I might end it if it's getting boring. Oh, by the way, I'm really happy about this thing. Oh yeah, the Hammond. Why not? Sure. Let's see what we can do. Whoops. Definitely are some issues with this. I get it now. This was on there. Okay, I was like, man, there's something really wrong with this. least I don't have much to do with it because there's that background sound, you know, and plus I don't like showing what I play because I don't know how to play anything. Oh well. But there, I played the organ, kind of. I putzed around with it. I think I might call it a day. It's been, what, 3-hour live stream? Just at 3 hours. Okay, you have like an 8-minute thing. If there's anything else you want to say or have me do, and do it, say it now. Because I'm kind of fading. I might take a nap. Peg tooth, no. What I want to do is I want to play Kate Sith's theme, or Cat C, from Final Fantasy VII. Francisco Mays, your server is finally fixed. lambda-decay.aternos.me. Is that Minecraft vanilla? John Smelly. I don't know. I'm like a good movie. I don't date. I can see myself courting, but not dating. That's too wasteful of time. Oh, I didn't see your question, Joe Dines. I have one person from Wisconsin who sends me letters every so often, and I reply every so often. He's a viewer, and he's pretty cool. So I guess that'd be one pen pal. You know what? To end this, I'm going to go get my reel mower. My new reel mower. Okay? And then we can see what I brought. And this will be the next reel mower I'm going to restore. And I'll just have a couple reel mowers, I guess. Analog winter. What's the difference between courting and dating for you? Seeing one person versus multiple people. Courting and dating is, I would only ever be in a relationship with somebody if I knew of them already. And I had, like, the sole meaning of that, like the dating or the courting, would be to see if you're worth marrying. Joe Dines, would you be interested in another pen pal from the UK? Well, writing letters is always a pain in the butt. And I just do it to be nice. It's not exactly fun. Pigtooth. I think you said that before. Are you putting a hardwood down on the mezzanine floor? I don't know what a mezzanine is. What is a mezzanine? Do you mean the loft? Because, yeah, that'll have flooring. I'll get my real mower. It was only $10, but it's a 1930s or 1920s or whatever keen cutter. So what I'll do is, I kind of wasted a bit of effort, like making the other one look all pretty. The G.W. Davis Corp mower. So I'm just gonna free that one up, lubricate it, and then use it, and let it be rusty. And then I can continue the other one, then I can restore that one. And my idea is that I can have just a bunch of mowing capable machines to use, and they're all in various states of being restored. Oh, I'll be electrifying one of these, so don't worry. I'm gonna make it look like it was electrified in the 1930s or 40s though, and I'm gonna find an antique battery and take the cells out of it and hide lithium in there, so it looks like a 1930s battery and a cloth-covered wiring and old motor and everything. But it's gonna be a little like 200-watt powered reel mower. You look cool. Very steampunk. Corbin Brewer, do you have your driver's license or do you just ride bikes and stuff around when you have to? I hate driving cars, and I hate the culture that has pushed it upon me constantly. So I will never drive a car in the United States. If I need a car driven, I'll hire somebody to drive the car. But plus, I can just do everything on 2 wheels. It's fine. Hey, SDE Lamo, sorry. Well, we just had about 3 hours of me eating a big lunch and talking about everything from AI taking over the world to solar panels. I also then got up and we cleaned off this part of the workbench and added some nails to hang stuff off of up there. And then I also brought this inside. That's a new reel mower I got for $10 from a friend. She owns a antique shop, sorry. And that's up to date. I think we're probably gonna end there. I'm gonna go take a nap because I can't wait until I can take a nap in the loft because that'll be lovely. I'm gonna leave you there, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya.